92.5 XTU.
Ashley Campbell is here at 92.5 XTU. It's Raz on the radio. So, the first time most of us were introduced to you, if they didn't by chance see you on tour with your dad or your YouTube videos that you were talking about, was the documentary about your dad called I'll Be Me. So, talk about that. I mean, the viewer, when I was watching it on my couch, I was emotional watching it. How was it putting that together as a family to decide and have editorial control over intimate moments of your dad's life? That's amazing responsibility.
Yeah, well, my dad just decided that he wanted to share what was going on with him with all his fans and with the world, and so it was kind of a no-brainer. We just kind of went with it, and we ended up becoming like family with the filmmakers, and so we just felt like a big happy family, and we were happy to share what was going on with us to help other people.
Does it take somebody like your dad to put awareness on a global stage for that kind of disease? Alzheimer's is what Glen has, and you guys did a great job at sharing that with your as a family.
Yeah, I think it does. It does kind of take a well-known person going through it to kind of get the attention of whoever we need to get the attention of. You know, kind of like Magic Johnson with AIDS.
Sure.
But anyway, it was just we were just happy that we were able to help people.
It's an amazing documentary. It's called I'll Be Me, and it really documents the final tour that your dad put together of between 2011 and 2013 was when it ended. Let's go back a little bit in time. So, when did you realize how big of a star your dad was?
I never really thought, I didn't see him that way. I saw him as dad. But it wasn't until after I started playing music that I started going, oh my gosh.
He's Glen Campbell.
He's the most amazing thing ever.
Because I grew up in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
So seeing him on television all the time. I mean, he had a reputation, I think, one time of being like one of the fastest guitar players as a studio musician.
He's a badass.
That's amazing.
Am I allowed to say
Did you guys communicate through music when you were a kid, or when did you finally get that musical connection with him?
It really when I started playing banjo, because that was the first time I was able to jam with him. Yeah, we would jam on some bluegrass tunes, and he taught me to play some guitar. He taught me how to play a Jimmy Webb song right in front of Jimmy Webb. It was amazing.
Were you nervous?
No, Jimmy's like family.
That's great. So, you were talking before we did this interview that you decided you were going to invite yourself on your dad's tour one time, and he said, "Well, okay, but you have to play banjo for us."
Well, I was just
he
going
made
for
you
moral
work,
support.
right?
Yeah, he made me work.
Yeah. So how was that? Like being like you went to Pepperdine, and they taught you to play banjo for a play.
Yeah.
So then your dad puts this pressure on you that you're going to go on this tour with him. Did you feel like you were adequate as a banjo player at the time to join your dad on his tour?
I was really nervous, but I wouldn't say yes to something I didn't think I could do. So I just kind of jumped on in, trial by fire. My first ever professional show was the Auckland State Theater. This huge, beautiful theater.
And how many people were there that night?
Oh gosh, probably like 1,000. I don't know how many seats. I'm really bad at gauging a number of a crowd.
Sometimes it's 2,500.
Yeah.
1,000 to 25 would be a safe guess. But
I'm like, there was 100 people.
Yeah.
No, there was 500. Oh.
Right. So was it pressure?
Yeah, it was. But my dad's my rock, and
right.
Yeah.
So was it hard when the role was flipped because you have a song saying, "I'll do all of this for you now"?
That's what my song is about.
Right.
When you're little, your parents take care of you, and as you get older, you kind of have to switch the roles. You have to take care of your parents because life goes from one end to the other and meets at the same place,
It's called Remembering.
Yes, my single's called Remembering.
When there's a part in the film where you actually take control on the stage, when your dad for so many years is the maestro, and there you are, his daughter, like, and it's an emotional part of the film where you step in to help him. That is an amazing scene, and it's amazing that you guys left it in there. Tell us about that moment for a second for people who haven't had a chance to see it yet.
Well, on stage, it actually helped me to be less nervous about performing in all those shows because I just decided that my job was making sure my dad was okay, and he kind of would lean on me sometimes. So I would just focus on him and what could I do for him. And So that's what that was
And-
like. And
and it
sometimes
was-
he would just need me to sneak behind him and move the capo up a fret or something.
Yeah. And you were so great in that scene. It's just so gentle and so loving, and in a public forum. That's really very brave. You should be happy as a
Well,
family
thank
that
you.
you're able to take care of each other like that.
We're very honest people.
At that moment, you're taking care of him as a daughter, as a colleague, as a musician, and you had to know where he wanted to go with the song
Yeah.
in order to be there for him. It's an amazing. If you haven't had a chance to see it, please watch it. I'm glad you're here today, and I'm glad you had a chance to share your music and had a chance to share your dad's story in that film, and of course you're going to keep that legacy alive. And
Yeah, definitely.
congratulations. A very brave thing that
Thank
you're doing.
you.
It's Ashley Campbell, and it's 92.5 XTU.